They will help you in your doing the right things the right way. And you don't really have to get misguided by people on board. I know a lot of things happen in the afternoon, 2 o'clock on the bridge. A lot of things, a lot of stories are told. I'm fully aware of them. But please understand, the times have changed. The times have changed, and now things don't happen in the same way anymore.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, after the KYC done, then how to start online investment? Like I have done the KYC and I have invested in one fund. And after that, how to go about? And sir,
So
one thing
the
more, and sir, how
yeah.
to monitor and how to do the online.
Okay. So right. So once you have started your investment, I hope through your NRE account, I hope as a non-resident individual, your KYC is complete. So now you try to invest in another fund of another AMC online. Just type the name of the AMC, or you ask me, I'll tell you. And you try to invest in
Sir,
some
currently I
AMCs.
am not. Sorry, sir. Sir, currently I'm not in a
Yes,
foreign. No, sir, currently I'm not in a foreign company. I'm sitting in an Indian company.
there's no
So I
problem.
have my savings.
That's even better. If you are selling in an Indian company, it is better than having it in a non-resident, because non-resident KYC is a little pain. So if you have already done a KYC, just go to any AMC site. For example, you start with Parag Parikh. Just type on the browser Parag Parikh Mutual Fund. The site will be auto-suggested. You open the site, keep your documents as they say with you, and you start investing. As a resident, it will be very easy. There is only one fund which is worth investing in Parag Parikh, that is Flexi Cap Fund. So you start in that with a minimum amount, which is 5,000. And at the same time, you can also set up your SIP. Okay. You can set up your SIP monthly. And that's about all. If you're not able to start because it says this thing is not complete, then Parag Parikh is one fund which will help you do that KYC by simply sending your documents. With some cases, I have seen that they do it completely online. I actually did mine completely online, but that was a few years ago. But for this thing, one moment, let me just type this out. 70. So you can do this in your mode. You can ask me a direct question on my my Telegram group or WhatsApp, and you just start investing. You do one fund, fund, and then you go on to the next one. It will be much faster. As a resident, it will be very fast.
Yes.
I am not guiding you purposely. I'm not telling you to go to campsite, because there you will find 17 mutual funds and each having 35 schemes. So that is why I'm saying go to one fund having the minimum number of funds, and that is Parag Parikh. Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund. You just Google it, invest Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund, and see what comes out. You have to invest because you are a resident. You have to invest as a resident individual. Parag Parikh Direct Growth. That is the complete name. Let me write it down here for you.
ये डायरेक्ट ग्रुप का काम है
नहीं वो तो पूछ रहा है और सीजर नहीं है तो बोल रहा है कि ये मेरा केवाईसी हो ही नहीं पाता परख परी को कांटेक्ट वो सबसे बड़ी होगा इसमें क्योंकि उनके पास फंड्स कम है अब इस वाले के पास
Okay, so yeah, I've typed out my complete this thing, name of the fund, and this is what you can do. Google. If you still are unable to do it, let me know. I'll do it for you. I'll help you out. This I am particularly saying because this is the easiest fund to invest in without really going through hassles or making a mistake that you invested in some other fund, because the funds are confusing for a new person. All right.
And sir, one thing more. Sir, once I invested, then how to start monitoring online, and can I add some third-party app like Wealth Monitor
You
app
can,
to
you can,
charge?
you can. The app that I prefer, see, there are two ways. One is keeping a record of things, and that you can do on valueresearchonline.com. I always say Value Research Online instead of Prime Investor or Morningstar because I have tried this out for 25 years. And it does not have any commercial interest in your maintaining a portfolio. Even if you don't subscribe to any of the services, you can always open a portfolio manager, valueresearchonline.com. Create an account, create a portfolio, enter the details of your first investment, and it will be monitored there. But that is not the official thing. What you should do is go to camsonline.com, go to statements, investors, go to statements, in statements, go to consolidated statement and summary. So when you only have to enter your email address there. I think you have not read the book. If you have read the book, it is clearly mentioned in that, how to get your statements. This statement will give you a summary of all the funds that you have invested in anyone's name, but where you have quoted this email address. In this particular statement, your email address is mapped. Okay?
Yes.
बुक पढ़ो एक बार, बुक पढ़ो, उसमें सब दिया हुआ है. अगर फिर भी डाउट होता है, then you ask me. All right?
Yes.
एक्चुअली आजकल बच्चों को ये जीरोधा और ये ग्रो और इन्होंने कंफ्यूज कर रखा है.
हाँ हाँ,
Things are
ये
not that
इसमें
difficult.
हाँ, please don't fall for these apps for two reasons. Why I say is two reasons. First, that most of these apps make you purchase a fund in a demat mode. Demat means the same way as you purchase a stock. That means you are keeping these shares in a demat form in the same depository where the stocks are kept, which means that today maybe that depository is giving you service free of cost, but tomorrow he will not. Which also means that this person, this entity, or that depository, CDSL or NSDL, they may tomorrow ask you for a charge per transaction. For example, Zerodha. Zerodha mentions that we do not charge any commission on buying. We do not charge any commission on selling. Fine, today. But what if they start charging you after 5 years? After all, where are they getting the money from? Secondly, even today, if you sell a security at Zerodha, demat charges of 22 rupees per transaction, not per script, per transaction are deducted. Whereas they are not if you are investing directly with the AMC or via CAMS or via KFintech. So why should we go through that? Secondly, when we talk about CAMS, CAMS is an entity. When we talk about KFintech, why has the name KFintech come about instead of Karvi, which was earlier? Because even they had some issues in their administration, not a scam really, but so they had to actually alienate themselves from the parent company. When you are dealing with them, these two are official RTAs, registrar and transfer agents of all the mutual fund industry, which you find in the country. I would like to share the screen for you. This one. Okay. Yeah, this one. So now this is valueresearchonline.com. On the top browser, you'll find that. And if you'll go at the bottom of it, this is the home page. You will find this funds monitor, which you can say complete list, and you'll see the complete list. I have shown this n number of times in seminar, but I know every time the same 40, 50 people are always new. So this is list of all the mutual funds that you can see, AMC, starting from 361, which I forget what the name of the company was earlier. They keep changing the names, to the White Oak Capital. All of these funds are called AMCs. Now, these are represented by just two RTAs. One is Karvi, one is CAMS. Karvi has named itself KFintech. So when you're buying something, even if you're buying from a website directly of the AMC, say this HDFC, suppose you're buying from there, that still means that your transactions are actually routing through CAMS or KFintech. So somebody is responsible. Suppose your transaction fails in between from the bank. Whom do you catch in case of a Grow, Covera, or whatever? I can in fact see grow as one of the AMCs. I'll have to research on this if they have become an AMC. It looks like from here they have, but doesn't matter. We normally, out of this 47, 48 companies, we only select the best, maybe 10 AMCs, and which have a lineage of 10 to 15 years, which have some name, which have some standing. And I prefer the ones which actually have the sponsorship from a bank like SBI, like ICICI, HDFC. I don't like HSBC, Axis, something like that. So I prefer these, which have some history for 20, 25 years. So I will help you. I'll help you with this, and you can take it away from there. But this is exactly what we do. So do not go for all the shortcuts. Convenience is not always correct. There are cases I will discuss with you later on, which I have had. I personally had a very bad experience with CAMS about 14 years ago, but it got sorted out because there was nobody else involved. It was either HDFC or CAMS, so I knew whom to talk. And somehow they did not have the proof of the transaction. I had the proof of the transaction, and they were asking me for the proof. So but it sorted out nicely because there was somebody involved. Now these apps come in, you have no phone number, you don't know the office address, you don't know the promoters of it, and DMAT, whatever good, bad, ugly is there in India. I still have the example of one of the senior citizens about 9 years ago who lost 900 Infosys shares. He was from Chennai, from his DP, depository participant. He just lost them. I don't know what happened. So all these 47 AMCs which you see here are mandated by SEBI. We know them. They have a physical entity. They have an office. They have a RTA mandated by SEBI. See, anything happen otherwise. I mean, we can have an atomic war also tomorrow, but it doesn't matter. But when it comes to faith, you should have somebody substantial, tangible to have your faith on. You earn your money, you deposit that money in the bank, you invest it or you spend it. Do you ever see that money? You don't. It's just a digital word. So at least that digital entity, that digital figure, wherever it is getting stored, let it be a reliable company. Let the conduit be reliable. And I don't understand. This is the investor. This is the investor. This is the investment mode or the investment company. Why should anybody else be in between? And if there is somebody else in between, isn't he there for the commercial benefit? Then how is he getting that commercial benefit? Why are all these companies giving us free service? Why? What are they selling? Our data, if at all. That means you may get the mutual fund service free, but you will be pursued for an insurance policy or a ULIP policy or something else, the names, the works. There are so many modes of investment today which are there in the market from which you have to keep yourself away. Is that okay? Anything else we need to take up? We are only 11 of us here. Abhinav Sharma, have you put a question mark for whatever reason? I don't know.
Sir, hello, sir.
Late. Prithvi?
So just a small doubt. Like as you said that we should start SIP in the NRE account. So what's the difference between the starting in the NRE account or the NRO account?
Yeah, you see your money which is coming into NRE account. Firstly, that money is the money, like I said, which is taxable which is eligible for tax exempt. Even if you're a non-resident Indian, for the purpose of income tax, you should first remember that you're a special category of non-resident Indian who stays in India, but only his income tax is free from tax. And it will only be free if you deposit it in NRE. Moment you move that to NRO account, the interest on that deposit in NRO account becomes liable for tax. And that taxable liability is about 30%. That means if you put about 10 lakhs and suppose the interest on that earned is 15,000 or something, out of that 15,000, only 10,000 will be paid out to you. So why do we want that? Firstly. Secondly, when you have your NRE account working as an NRI, you put that money here, invested as a non-resident external account in a mode, in a mutual fund. Tomorrow you want to shift to another country, or you want to send out some money. Like nowadays, we are getting all these news about education loans and all that. Whatever money is being sent abroad. Now, as a non-resident external account, it is much easier for you to send that, especially in the light of whatever the rules are happening now. And I feel so happy in saying that I have been maintaining this for last 25 years for people, for 20 years for people, 25 years for myself, that always invest as a non-resident external account, because it's easier to take this money out. You don't have to, you will not have to pay any TCS. Why? Because it's my money as a non-resident Indian. Why are you charging me TCS on that? You can't charge me. So now, in the light of all these new rules which you are listening about, hearing about TCS is not Tata Consultancy Service. It is tax collected at source. That means if you are going abroad for a holiday and your money, you are using a credit card there, or you are paying a agent for booking and flights and everything, you will have to pay a certain amount as TCS, 10%, 20%, depending what will come out. So as a non-resident external, non-resident Indian, you earn that money as a tax-free. You invested it as a non-resident external Indian. That money can be redeemed back into your NRE account and can be taken out. As far as I understand, this TCS cannot apply to NRE account. I will do more research on this and I will come back to you on the group. Anything
so
else?
even on the So, sir, even on my profit, like whatever I have invested in the mutual fund, and after like 50, 30 or 40 years, whatever the amount I get in that, whatever the profitable thing I am having in that. So in that also, it is not taxable in the NRE account.
See, that time when you will probably redeem at the time of your retirement, you would have become a resident Indian. Taxability for resident and non-resident is same. Same taxes will be deducted, will have to be paid. But for a non-resident Indian, the tax is collected at source. For example, suppose you have sold mutual funds for 10 lakhs, suppose, and in that 10 lakhs, 7 lakhs is your capital and 3 lakhs is your gain. That means out of 3 lakhs, you need to take out the standard deduction of 1 lakh, and on 2 lakhs, you will have to pay 10%. 10% means 20,000, right? Of 2 lakhs. Now, if you are a non-resident Indian, that TDS out of that 20,000 will be made and deducted at source and rest of the money will be remitted to your NRE account. And now you take it away, right? As a resident Indian, finally all your folios will have to be converted to your resident Indian when you lose your NRI status at retirement. At that time, your money will come entirely into your bank account. And when you file your returns, before that, you will have to pay your taxes, which will be same as that for the non-resident Indian. For an NRI, all the taxes are deducted at source. For a resident, they are not deducted at source. You have to pay them afterwards.
What is this
beyond a certain
deducted
limit.
at source?
Yeah.
Deducted at source, what is it?
Deducted at source means now when the mutual fund will pay you, and if you are liable to pay 20%, 20,000 rupees on that particular 3 lakh transaction which you have sold, that 20,000 will be deducted at source by the mutual fund and deposited against your PAN number to the income tax department. This means deducted at source. Source where it is coming from. That means you will only receive 2,80,000 in your NRE account.
Okay, sir. So, and one more thing, like in the account, in the NRE account, whichever the salary has been credited. So should I open the account? Should I open the mutual fund with that account only, or should I open like for these things I should put a different NRE account and I should start
Very
with
good,
that?
very
Or
good. Good question. Very good question. Very, very good question. Now, because I have moved my method of suggesting the investment from STP to SIP, that means now your investment will take place from the bank account to the mutual fund. So now it is good if you can have one separate NRE account for your investments only. It is good because for NRE accounts, normally there is no minimum amount to be maintained. So if you can have a separate NRE account only for investment, it is the best thing. Why? Because you can transfer only that much amount, a little more than what you have your SIPs totaling to. Suppose you have your 6 SIP in 6 funds totaling to 2 lakhs. So out of your salary, you can just move 2 lakhs to this account or 2,50,000 to this account. Remaining, you can keep in the other NRE account and do whatever you want. Make FDs, make your expenses, transfer to your wife's account, resident account, and make the investments in her name and things like that. So it is a very good thing if you can have one NRE account, one email address, one particular mobile number only for your investments. This mobile number, this email should not lapse under any condition. Because even this policy I formed years before SEBI came. SEBI is suggesting this in 2023, whereas I've been saying this since 2006 and 7, that please make one. Mobile phones were just coming in that time. So I said you should have one of them because it makes it easy.
Even the FD, even the like not only about the SIP, even FDs or whatever investments I am doing, all the things I can do with that, like with that account, the other account.
Up to you. Right? Up to you. Say you have NRE account A for only investment. So you use it only for your mutual funds. The other one where your salary is flowing in, you can keep that from which you can make your FD, from which you can make expenses. Or either way, it's up to you. The idea is that looking at your monthly statement of account, you should be able to make sure that भाई कहाँ से मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे मतलब what money did I spend where. You should be able to see, because even at this time, I find it very difficult at the end of financial year to imagine what I did in April. But if I know that this money from this account is only going for investment, and this money is coming into my account only from my investments, there is not much left, because finally you can all correlate from the AIS. This is a new thing which has come, AIS, in your taxes. Okay, next next meeting which we will have specially for taxes, and I will try to have CA Manoj Devgan with me so that he can answer your questions in that particular mode. I have requested him, and we have formed this group called Tax Yogi, where he answers your questions directly. If he gets delayed because he is a very busy person, I mean, it's not only income tax he looks after, he does the GST. So whatever he's doing for you is basically, pro bono. It's a service that he's doing to you. So I had to find time to get him on board. So next one we will try to have for taxes so that it is clearly understood, and we will record that also as well, and we will put on YouTube. Okay. Somebody's question is there. How would be index fund for beginner? Excellent. Nothing like it. But if the beginner is a third officer or a fourth engineer, I would suggest for him to go into equity fund. And that equity fund should be small cap fund, because it has maximum risk and maximum return. So if you only have 10,000 rupees to invest, select one flexi cap, one small cap, invest in that. Index fund is for Buddha log like us. Index fund gives you benchmark returns, nothing above the board. As a youngster who has 30, 40 years of investment life to himself, you should actually be going into the most, well, I'm not saying how to lose money, but generally in a way that you can make more and more gains when you can take the risk. If I were maybe out of sheer coincidence, my first equity fund in which I started investing, I'm not talking about technology fund, they didn't do so well in 2000, but I started investing roughly 20 years ago, 22 years ago in HDFC equity, which is now called HDFC FlexiCap. From 2002 up to 2021, that fund went on. And I did not leave it. Unless later on I had to change over. That's a different story. Okay, so that is the kind of...
I have a short question, sir. Can we transfer from NRE1 to NRE second account?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And not only yours. If suppose you have a brother, you have a friend, you can transfer to them also.
Because some of these banks, they say that only in the foreign currency should be put into this.
No,
and you cannot
see, when you will give a check or a draft to another NRE account, then they will say that please prove that the source of this is your foreign currency. If you have two NRE accounts, in your name, you can always transfer it from one account to another. It's yours. It's coming from NRE account. They may ask you a question, but when they will go back to the antecedent, you can tell them that this is the proof that this money is from my NRE account.
All right, sir.
Have as many NRE accounts. You can transfer from one to
So,
another. It's absolute.
so which bank account would be good for this thing? For the other one, like NRE2 account,
You see,
like
times
a private
change.
one or a bank or a government one?
Today I always talk about PSU bank, but I never had my money in a PSU bank. I have a story to tell about that also. When I became a non-resident, we opened a zero balance account in Citibank, and it was in Mumbai. And those days, ATMs were, I think, maybe 100 odd in the whole country. Later on, when UTI broke up and they formed UTI Bank, I shifted to them after almost 13, 14 years. Now, you're asking about NRE account. Now, suppose you want to close an account in one bank. How do you transfer that money into another NRE account if it is not allowed? So you can. So then I moved to UTI Bank, which came to be called Axis Bank. I closed my NRE account and continued with my NRO account as a savings account. I converted it. But today, when I see the security of SBI, when I see their awareness about the rules, and at least in Dehradun, when I see them having a separate branch for NRIs, I feel, and I see the net banking, I feel they are the best people to have your account with, because they will never let you do anything against the rules, which is like, you don't have to really always go back to your CA to find out things. They will not let you do it. If you go to them with your CDC, they'll open a zero balance account. Moment you show them your CDC, NRE account, they will open it for you. So I am very happy with SBI. And I am seriously thinking in closing down one of my other bank accounts and converting my main investment account into this. It's just a matter of paperwork, which I don't want to do. Otherwise, it's perfectly all right. And the main thing is that also as a mutual fund AMC, SBI is very good.
So I
So
have one more
there is a
doubt.
kind of.
Sir, I have
Yeah.
not filed any income tax return till now. I am selling as third officer. I've sold for one ship, one contract. Is it necessary
File
to
it this
file
year?
a?
Yeah. It's absolutely necessary. Now, I will say it is absolutely necessary. Reasons I will discuss later on. But yes, it
All
is
right.
necessary. Are you a resident this particular financial year or a non-resident?
Yes, a resident.
This particular year?
Yes.
But you just started this. You were talking about 20 to 23 or 23, 24?
So 22, 23.
You were a resident. And how many months did you
Yes.
earn?
Sir, I sailed in 2021. After that, I didn't sail. I was preparing for some competitive examinations. I'll be
In
joining back again.
22, 23 financial year, how many months did you sail?
Sir, 0 months.
You didn't sail. So
No,
there's no
sir.
income.
So
So there is
do I need to
absolutely no
fill a
income. No.
zero
When you
income?
don't have a, no, you don't. You can file a zero tax, but what will you show in that? When you had no income, there's nothing to show. In financial year 23-24, you will sail. When you will sail, you will have some income. Try to get your NRI status. If you cannot get your NRI status, please make sure that you pay your tax.
All right.
There is no getting away from that. There are advantages of filing a return, not filing a return. Even if
Okay.
you are tax exempt, even if you don't have any tax to pay, it is more beneficial to file a return and have a proof of that return along with the computation of that particular year. Keep that computation in paper collected with you
Okay.
and make a file of it and get into that habit. I have another 10 minutes to go on this. So, and let me tell you, I started sailing in January 1987. There is not a return that I have not filed till 2023.
All right.
Anything else, or can we?
Sir, could you
Anything
please
else?
share your number, sir? Because it was
Yeah.
like a personal ID,
Okay.
so I
Okay. Okay.
don't get.
Okay.
I'm new into it.
98086404997. 7983411914. My email address is very funny. This I keep only for interactions like this. And if you will go in your free time to this blog, then you will find a lot of useful things, which out of time paucity we normally unable to discuss. Okay. So if you will,
You have your Telegram account on which number, sir?
Telegram account actually does not require a number. You just have to send a message on Telegram on this. But I have Telegram account on both numbers.
Okay.
Both numbers. I have a WhatsApp account on both numbers. I have a Telegram account on both numbers. This is my user handle on Telegram.
Thank you,
Is
sir.
okay? Yeah. There are other IT things which we can discuss in the next
Sir?
meeting. Yeah, please.
So this second number is having 11 digits. So
Okay, yeah. Correct.
79834111914.
Yeah. Just a moment. Let me 79834111914. Okay,
Okay. All
double
right.
one. So, and another thing is that whenever you feel, you must also chat amongst yourself. And whenever you feel that there are topics to be discussed, please send them to me. I do not mind making this a monthly routine to have an interaction with you. Most of the questions are something which we also address on the group, and that's fine. When you ask a question on the group, there are a lot of people who give in the inputs. You are free to read all of them. But remember one thing, that whatever view I will give you will be the legal one, the time tested one, which I have done on my own. I do not have any degree in finance. I have purposely not taken any course from SEBI or anything, or Amphi. I have not done any course purposely for the reason that I do not want any conflict of interest. Because if I do not have any of these degrees, that means I am not into any paid systems of anything. From 14th of November, 16th of November 2014, I have not worked for money at all with any entity whatsoever. Yeah, one company made me do a webinar for them, a big shipping company, and they sent me a gift which I was very embarrassed to take. But that is about all. I survive on my own. Whatever I will tell you is only for your benefit. It will be keeping in view the future rules, because I am in touch with the authorities for various reasons, who give me a view of whatever is going to happen hence on. For example, this Aadhaar, phone, and bank account thing, which is linked now for every Indian. This I knew in 2013 that this will happen. Of course, it took another 4 or 5 years, but I was aware of it. I had a view that in next 10 years, everything is going to happen in a legal way, the way it is happening now, how things will move. That's why in the earlier 6, 7 seminars that I did in Dehradun for the local mariners, I always used to say, please file your taxes, please file your taxes. Please come clean above board, because it's important. We cannot keep hiding below the radar. Please try to understand that income tax department can give you a notice for as old something as possible. It can ask you for records as old as possible. The onus, the responsibility of providing your records is on you, not on the income tax department. My CA tells me, of all the people who are there, that the interaction, how it takes place, income tax sends a query that this thing is there. This man sends a reply, I'm a non-resident Indian, I am not expected to do this. This is the reply he sends to the income tax department on the portal. No proof, no documents applied with it, no advice taken from his tax professional. So these are modern times. We need all these people, we need all these tools. And this is a team, maybe not for people at your level, but when you're a chief engineer and you're earning to the tune of 60 to 70 lakhs a year, you have to have a team who will fight for you, who will actually guide you that this is right, this is wrong. In the same way, that is the particular reason why I have gone for Mr. Devgan, because he has grown up with me. He's very young. He's about 20 years younger to me. But yes, he has grown. I have been challenging him for last 15 years about questions, about finding something. And he's very competent. He hasn't made me lose out money on anything. And because of that, whatever I tell you is something which I do, which I have done. And it has worked for me. And I really pray and I hope and I wish that it works for all of you as well. Start on the right foot. God bless. Godspeed.
So one suggestion before
Yes,
we
please,
call
sir.
it off.
Anji.
So can we have the future meetings on another platform like Teams or anything where there will be no time
Sure.
limit and no interruptions?
Sure. We can have it
But
on
I'm not
Teams.
sure if we can, because this Zoom, as it is a Chinese app, so I'm not very happy.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
We can
future may-
suggest on the group, and whichever is suitable
Yeah.
to everybody, for which we can
Google Meet or
share the link. That is the best thing. If
Yeah.
we can do team, we can do meeting. Google Meet is good also. We
Yeah.
can do team. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm
That's all, sir.
comfortable with all of them. Yeah, it's okay.
Right.
It's just out of
Thank-
habit. We always say Zoom meeting, even if it is some other meeting.
Mhm.
But next time we can have some other one. Yeah. All right.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Good to see
Take
you.
care.
Finally. Thank you. Take care. Bye. We'll leave the meeting now.
Yeah.